Hey people, what's up? Good morning to everyone. Looks like the market has completely erased that drop from Nvidia overnight. And we are back to our bullish ways. It would seem, at least. What's up to everyone who's popping in? Hey, Paul, Martin, Chris, good morning. Shayak, Archer, Roberto, good to see you all. Good morning, Squid. So, let's kind of figure out what the heck we're working with here. We're right back up to the all-time high. Looks like we're going to be breaking through it. And then we have a million lows that are not broken yet. Yeah, definitely initially looks like we're going up, although this uptrend also at the same time looks played out. Unless we're going to get a trend starting yesterday that doesn't, it's not the typical formation, but it can happen. So I'm going to be playing the shorter term channel initially, which is the safer option for sure. And it still hasn't had a new high yet, so we still expect maybe one more push up, but then we'll see what happens after that. All right, market is open, ladies and gentlemen. All eyes are going to be on Nvidia this morning. So far, it is completely recovered the drop that it had on earnings. It's putting in a massive green candle this morning. Here's NQ, which easily looks like a wider uptrend. Let's find our levels. We got to delete a lot of this junk. This thing is a launching, baby. Good morning, Jonathan, by the way. What is up? What is good? All right. ES, it does look like, did that make a new high? It did. Okay, so ES did technically make its new high. Could be, this channel could be played out. Oh, other Jonathan copied first Jonathan's words verbatim. It's one thing to be the second Jonathan, but to say the same thing. Bold move. Bold move. Still waiting to see if we get a correction on ES as the uptrend again is potentially played out. NQ still looks like the trend is valid, so we'll see how the pullback looks and if it holds the EMA here. I'm going to get my news serves going. Make sure we're up to date with everything happening in the market. There isn't really any, I don't believe, let me double check. There shouldn't be any econ releases that will move the needle today. I mean, I guess we do have pending home sales at 10 a.m., but pending home sales have not done anything to the market lately. I wouldn't be worried about that. We already got through preliminary GDP and unemployment claims, both of which were decent numbers. There is a chance that we have a secondary channel working here on ES. Be a little bit unusual, but it could happen. Still favoring working with narrower channels here, though. Nasdaq had a nice bounce off the EMA. Let's see if it can come back for that second entry, and we'll take it. Nvidia is putting in a red candle. I'm probably going to be watching that quite a bit today to gauge where we might be headed. See if this bar can tick through that previous one and then turn up bullish. I'll be all over that. See how this bar closes. I'm liking it so far. See about the close though. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Oh no. How did I not get filled on that? What? See if we can get a limit order. No, no. It's gonna go without me. I'm not gonna chase it. Bummer. Did not quite get filled on that. That was a perfect entry. Could get a higher low though. Anyone get that Nasdaq entry? That was money. Confirmed uptrend. One leg back. One attempt off the EMA. Second leg back. Look at that signal bar. Absolutely beautiful. Closing above the moving average. Can't draw it up any better than that. Nice. Martin got it. Sweet. I tried my darndest out there, guys. Just couldn't quite get it. Back on ES, we don't really have a setup. 'Cause we don't really have a trend right now. Hey, Tom, good morning. Good morning, Kellen. Good to see you again. So here, guys, again, we don't really have a trend, an overarching trend in play. We do have this little move down that already has had a break a new low. So we would technically expect a bounce. We're right at yesterday's high. So still trying to figure out if we're going to be above or below that. That's what we need to watch, especially on the ES right now. NQ still doing its thing, still going up. It was a beautiful entry. You could still be riding that thing towards that high. Not getting over the moving average. ES is struggling a little bit here. Looks like ES is making another attempt to lower. Sellers are not going away here. We're right on this resistance area again. Matt, good morning. Yeah, we're so close to that all-time high. Tested it. Actually, technically made an all-time high. But not able to continue, it looks like. All right, now this downtrend definitely looks played out on ES. Move down here, break, new low. This looks very much like a measured move. So we can get a bounce here. If we don't, we might have to start looking at a wider channel. Nasdaq also looks in a very similar spot. It had two legs down. So where we would expect a bounce. If it doesn't get it, we'll have to look at a wider downtrend. We'll see what bulls and bears are made of this morning. ES still not bouncing up here. Yeah, Tom, I hear you. I expect more action out of the market after Nvidia too, but Nvidia pretty much is flat. It is like right back where it closed. It wasn't enough to move the needle for the market, so pretty soon here, everything's going to be about the FOMC, which is not till September 17th, I think, so we have a little bit. I'm going to widen this downtrend for right now. All right, a little bit of an overshoot here on this move down on the S&P. Watch out for the bounce here. If this doesn't bounce here and we keep getting new lows, we're going to have to adjust our channel. But it's something to watch for sure. Sellers are showing up, man. Nvidia's back to dropping. It's put in 3 bear candles in a row right now. Pretty clean downtrend on Nasdaq too. We'll see what this pullback looks like. This would not be a good look for the market if we make this all-time high and then put in a bear trend. I'm going to start adjusting this trend if we make another new low here. Okay, there's a new low. I think we have this narrower downtrend in play. We'll be looking for a clean pullback and a second entry short. Here's the low we have on this trend. So we're watching this pullback right here to see if we can get a second entry. There's our first attempt lower after this pullback. Boom. Let's see that second pullback here. That's the second leg of this pullback, I should say. No setup there. ES made a new low. Nasdaq had the first break in this little channel. So when that gets a new low, that will technically be played out. NQ trend played out. Let's see if we get a bounce from the market. ES still within this channel, so we're looking to see if the EMA rejects on this pullback. ES trying to make it back to that 21. YouTube lagging for anyone else besides Paul? I'm looking on my end. Everything looks good. My internet's solid. Connection solid. Stream health is good. So I don't see any problem areas on my end of things, at least. Smooth as butter. All right, baby. All right, watching this pullback here on ES. See if we can find a little bit of rejection at the moving average. We would expect more of a bounce on NQ as with that downtrend played out. Tiny little second entry did appear on ES. I don't like taking that though with this short-term trend in play. I think we're better off to wait on more of a visual entry. If we get a lower high though, I will take it. Watching this bar form. Ooh, that's a pretty good looking lower high right there. See how it closes. Nope. No dice on that one. ES keeps putting in higher lows and higher highs. Might have to widen this uptrend at this point. We strongly push below the EMA and get a lower high, we'll consider taking it. But the Nasdaq's bouncing up pretty good, so this might not happen right now. Okay, watching for the lower high here. This will probably just go straight to a new low without giving us a setup on. Still could get a lower high on ES. I'm not giving up on that. If we break above all this resistance here, should see a pretty big pop. Definitely getting that pop on NQ. And we'll see where this takes us. Here is, I think, the measured move pretty soon. If it's going to turn down, it would likely turn down right there. If it goes much higher than that, we're going to probably stop looking for the short. Best case scenario for a short here would be that we get a lower high, push below the EMA, get that break and retest of the EMA, that double lower high. That would be confirmation the sellers are still active here. Needs to push down soon though, or I'm going to be completely abandoning the idea. On NQ, we're already back to above yesterday's high. One thing to note though is Nvidia is not really driving this bounce. It is bouncing, but definitely not to the same extent. So this is being driven by other companies right now. We're still within the range for this to push down right at this measured move. We just can't really let it go any higher than this. By the way, guys, right now, Apex is 90% off of evaluations. It's only going on for 5 days. It was 80%. They just bumped it up to 90%. Amazing deal. Especially when you can get 20 accounts. So you make $100 in one account, copy traded across 20. $2,000 off a little $100 trade. So, yeah, there's a lot of pros and cons with Apex, but that is definitely a pro. To me, makes it worth it. The link should be in the description. And it's in the chat too, but it says 80% off. I need to change that. It's actually 90% off right now. Archer says you can also lose 2K off a hundo. You actually can't. That's the beauty of it. You're only in as much as you're paying for the evals. That is the advantage of prop firms. You can never lose more than what you pay for the evaluation. Tom says I've been lighting money on fire with take profit. Bummer. Take profit is really solid. The fact that you can get daily payouts is just amazing. So if you guys haven't tried take profit, they still have the best deal that they've ever had, which is 40% off and no activation fee. So all in price is really, really cheap if you're get to the funded stage. And then once you are at the funded stage, you can take payouts every single day, which is amazing. You do have to treat it. Yeah, that's the thing, Tom. It's easy to get into that mode of, oh man, I just need to pass these really quick on take profit so I can get to the daily payouts. But just take it slow and steady. Change your mentality and it'll be a lot better. All right, so S&P does have a lower high right here. Let's see if it can break through the EMA and get that second lower high. I'll consider taking that. Nasdaq is right on that key level, yesterday's high. Seeing if we're gonna hold above that or not. Yes, tried to make it below the 21, didn't quite work there. It looks like support on the EMA so far. Yeah, $85 lifetime fee on Apex too, if you end up passing and getting funded, which is also amazing. Makes it really, really worth it. So even if you don't get 20 accounts, you don't have to get 20 accounts, you know, get a couple, see how you like it, get to a payout, and then use that payout money to reinvest. So you're always playing with house money. All right, S&P breaking below the moving average. See if we can get going to the downside. NQ as well, making a move here. And just like that, it's getting reversed. All right, come on, market. Let's see what you want to do. We were moving pretty fluidly, and now we hit a little bit of a slow patch. Oh, by the way, guys, one more thing on the Apex sale. I don't know if you saw, for the largest account, the 250K and the 300K, the activation fees, lifetime activation fees, are only $37. That's insane. For a 300K account, you pass it, it's already 90% off. You pass it, the activation fee is only $37. That is the cheapest that Apex has ever been on that activation fee. I've never seen it lower than that. Getting a pop up here. S&P looks like it wants to go make a new high. Bulls are back in town, ladies and gentlemen. Just when the Bulls got excited, the Bears are showing up. It's a pretty solid battle today, honestly. Like, not one side is taking over, which typically means we're going to end up in kind of mixed trading range. But crossing my fingers that won't happen. Crossing my fingers that one side will eventually tip the scales enough to where we get a decent move. Water fasting asking, what is the optimal size account for Apex? It really depends. You either get quicker to the payout. Well, even that's not true. It really just depends. It depends on how much drawdown you want. It depends on what your goals are. Personally, I think the more drawdown that you can have, the better off you'll be. Like, the 50K account is a pretty narrow margin if you're trading with mini contracts. Now, if you're trading with micros, that's different. But if you want to trade mini contracts, I would suggest getting a larger account, so then you're not having to worry about blowing the thing if you have a couple bad trades. So yeah, I like those 250, 300K accounts for that reason. Now, you do have a bigger target, so it may take a little bit longer sometimes, but you have more of a cushion of a drawdown, like more of a chance to stay alive in the process. But if you're pretty confident in your trading abilities, and you want to either trade micros or just walk that thin line of like, hey, every trade's got to be pretty good, then the 50K is solid. So I don't know. It really just depends on the individual. You just got to know going into it what you're looking for. Oh yeah, if you trade micro in the 250K, that's next level. That's next level not feeling the losses. Yeah, it won't even phase you. You could take a bunch of losses and be completely fine. And I'm telling you, that mental clarity is really what makes the difference for traders. You always want to find a way to be able to lose in a way where it doesn't affect you and doesn't affect your account. All right, guys, we're going to take this party to Discord. No bias on the day, all right? Don't get crazy with anything. We had this big overnight move. Nothing came of it. We've gone up and down, above and below the EMA. There's no one side that's winning out. So just follow the shortened trends, and we'll probably get lots of trades on both sides of the market. So be flexible today. Hope it's a good one for you. If you want to take advantage of this Apex sale, it's only going on through this weekend. It'll be ending on Tuesday. It's just a Labor Day sale, so link is below. Otherwise, hope you guys have a great day. Enjoy, and I will see you soon. Later.